Hello guys, setting up the farm here, farm live video. Making sure everything's running before we get started. Alright guys, still setting it up. Yeah, whale miner, it sure is. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me, right? Okay, perfect. I see that, whale miner, thanks. Alright, let's give it another minute. I'm just making sure that I'm streaming properly, doing Rumble, Twitter, Facebook. Twitter's a little messed up right now, but the other ones are good. And YouTube and Odyssey. So got to make sure everything's online. Give it like 2 more minutes and we'll start off at this farm here. And from yesterday's video, the live that we had yesterday, I just couldn't get it to work. The LTE was really bad in the area and I tried everything. So I just ended the stream. I couldn't get it. It was so glitchy. It was, everyone was saying it was dropping frames. I see the frame rate was really bad on Restream. And the video quality was really bad, so I just had to end the stream. We're gonna get some better connection, for the phone in that area, and then we'll be back to that farms. But today's video, we're gonna be talking about this farm right here, the one that's 1.75 megawatts. We're gonna be talking about that farm. Let's make sure everything's running here before we go. Show me chat disconnected on YouTube. Just about to start. All right, now let's see if we're still streaming away here. Looks like we are. Let me check restream. I'm gonna start in like 1 minute. Hold on, guys. Looks like it's working. All right, let's get started. All right, today's video, we're going to be going over this mining farm. It's a live video, so you guys can ask questions and all that stuff. And we'll just talk about, you know, whatever you guys are interested in today's video. So you want to ask some questions about the filtration system, about the megawatts, about the transformers, you know, how electricity works in the panels, whatever you guys want to ask. I'll show you guys around the farm and you can think of things you want to talk about. And otherwise, I'm just going to be talking about, you know, whatever issues we had, you know, in the previous week, this week, previous week, and so on. And before we get started, Bitcoin saves your wealth and Jesus Christ saves your soul. All right, let's get started. So, showing you guys around some miners. Again, this is the S19J and the S19 Pro farm. And we had a problem today where one of the fans broke on a miner, caused the PSU to go down. And we had to unplug the miner and take it over to our workbench and see what's wrong with it because the PSU wasn't coming on. So here's our workbench over here. Just has a bunch of our stuff. You know, a drill, charger, you know, gloves, stuff like that. Here's the tool we use for the ASIC testing. This tool can change the frequency on the board. It can flash the EEPROM and so on. Really nice tool. So you plug it in to into the data connection port on a hash board, and then you can flash the EEPROM and so on. So we had that issue with the fans, also showing us a control board problem, which really was not a problem. It was just a glitch. Sometimes that happens when a fan goes down, and then it's showing a hash board error when there is really no error. So I'll show you guys here. Here's our kernel. This is the one that had that problem. We found all ASICs. No issues now, even though after showing a power supply voltage drop, usually that signifies that the power supply is overheating, or that signifies that the PSU is bad. But again, it was nothing. It was just a bad fan on there. Replaced the fan, and everything's working fine. Just started him up maybe like 30 minutes ago. You can see right there, like chain average voltage rise. You know, it's picking up and lowering the voltages. That's normal. It's when there's a drop. There's a big drop and it goes to zero, and the whole entire miner goes offline. That issue has been fixed. Now, today, the weather is pretty warm outside. It's about 58, 60 degrees. That's pretty warm for this area. So these miners are spinning a little bit at a faster rate. The fans are spinning a little faster, not a little bit, but a good amount faster. You know, they're like at 3,000–4,000 RPMs. So it is more noisy in the container. We get these little red lights in some of our miners. I have no idea why that's happening because I updated the firmware. Control board, we took a look at it, everything's fine. It's like a bitmain glitch because it's working. The miner's working. There's no issues with the miner. I log into this miner, R3, so row 3, miner number 3. I log into this guy, he's working, he's producing 100. What is this? This is a J Pro. It's producing 104 terahashes. You know, just fine, no problem. Actually, it's 100 terahash. Producing 100 terahash, no problem. And if you look around at other miners, they also have a similar blinking light. Oh, here's another one over here. See that? It's actually working. There's nothing wrong with it. This guy as well. They're fine. It's a glitch that we see on the J miners. On the S19 regular Pro miners, we don't have that glitch. You see, they're all green, and if I walk around this farm, you'll see all of them green. None of them are going to blink red. It's just these J. Very glitchy. Here's another one. Oh, yeah, there's another one right there. See that? Again, he's working. These little nuances, these little, you know, I would say glitchy little problems. You know, every miner series has its own issues, has its own problems. Let me go outside here and talk about that a little bit. So every single miner, and let me make sure I'm still streaming here. I didn't drop the stream. Okay, good. So every single miner has its own issues, has its own problems. You know, the J's have their own thing, the regular Pros have their own thing. I'm sure the S19 non-Pro versions, they have their own issues as well. We never had any of those versions, the regular S19. We only had the J Pro and the regular Pro. But I'll tell you some of the differences between the J Pro and the regular Pro. So for the S19J Pro, Bitmain is using a, I think it's called Mercury fans. It's that brand, it starts with M. Those fans are a lot better quality than the S19 Pro fans. The S19 Pro fans used some other brand that just says cooling on the back of it. And they break after like a year and a half, they start breaking. So they're not very good quality fans. But the S19J Pros, they have higher quality fans. They break less often, a lot less often. Actually, to give you a direct number, we have never had one of those fans break yet, right? So more than a year, mining away, not a single fan broke. But the regular Pro, their fans break. But then in reverse, we have these weird glitches on the S19J Pro. You have that blinking red light. And even if you flash the firmware, even if you do an SD card reset, even if you hold the reset button, or you unplug the miner and do like a drain the power supply, you know, things like that, it still just keeps blinking and blinking and blinking. It never stops, no matter what you do. You put older firmware on, it still keeps blinking. So it's like a control board glitch. And we don't have that glitch on the S19 Pro, just on the J Pro. And then the other difference is the quality of the board. So the fans are better on the J Pro, and also the boards are better on the J Pro. The J Pro has higher quality boards. Doesn't mean that the pros, the regular pros are bad. They're very good miners. They're both very good miners. But the regular Pro has has a hash board that's, I would say, slightly less quality. You know, slightly, I would say, has more errors or prone to errors than the J Pro. The J Pro is a little bit better. I would say maybe like 5% better overall. So I noticed that the S19 Pro hash boards, that after, you know, a couple of years, you might have like a little glitchy board. Maybe out of 100 miners, you'll have a couple of them that need to be repaired. On the J Pro, you have less often. Less often need for repairs, just better quality. So that's the difference. Also, the S19J Pro has a more stable, how do I say it? More stable power demand. Like on the S19 Pro, you boot that guy up, and then for some reason the fans drop, the chips pick up on the temperature, then the fans speed up, they cool off the chips, then it mines just fine for 6–8 hours. Then again the fans drop, and then the chips start heating up to like 75–80. Then the fans pick up, they cool off the chips. So they have this like wave form. You know, it's like a wave. Every 8 hours it has this weird, it's a firmware thing. It's not a miner. It's the firmware. It's the Bitmain firmware that's causing that. The fans are just dropping. And I noticed that on basically all S19 Pros. On the J's, they fixed that. It's stable. It just consumes a certain amount of watts. Because the chips stay at the same temperature, the fans slowly speed up as the temperature increases, slowly drop as the temperature decreases, and so on. It's never in this wavy form that an S19 Pro is. That's for the J. So the J is more stable on power demand. And that plays an impact on your power consumption. You know, that you have to have a little bit of wiggle room for the J, for the regular Pro, but not for the J Pros. Now I'll read some of you guys' questions here. Just put in 100 terahashes, 141 minor, great videos. That's from Chuck on YouTube. 100 141 minor, great videos. What do you mean by that, Chuck? Did you put in 100 minors that are 141 terahash, or did you put in 100 terahash minors, 141 units? Trying to see what you mean by that, if you want to clarify that. Okay. BRE, how loud are the containers from a 30 foot? Okay, they're pretty loud. 20 feet is, you know, not much room at all. Like, I'm pretty much 20 feet from the container right now. Now, this is probably 20 feet right here. So I can put my shoes in there, right? That's probably already 20 feet right there. So this is how far 20 feet is. What you want to actually calculate from is probably like 200 feet. Now, 200 feet. If I walk 200 feet away, I still hear the minors. And they're not like subtle. You hear them, right? You hear them a pretty good deal. They're not super loud at 200 feet, but you can hear them. One way to solve that problem, probably asking it because you're interested in maybe having a mining farm or some location where noise would be a problem. One way to solve that is you can build mounds, like mounds of dirt, or you could put like a container or some kind of blockage material to block the sound. You can do that, but at 20 feet it's very loud. You don't want to be 20 feet next to this container. Even if I close the doors, it's very loud. I'm going to show you guys around the tarp. We just use regular washers, you know, and metal cutting screws, whatever they're called. Just hold it in place. It does a good job. It's been there for years and years and years. Tarp is actually very good quality as well. It's been here like this for years and years and years. Hasn't ripped yet. You know, all those high winds and snow and rain and sitting on the sun when it's like 90, 100, 110, you know, degrees. It's doing just fine. Same thing over here on this tarp, on this container over here. Same thing. You can see tarp is doing a great job. Those holes were there before, so tarp is very good quality. Has not ripped or anything like that. And then our filtration system here. So we use a little bit slightly different screws. We're using wood screws because it's 2x4 here. Filtration system does a good job. Look at all this junk. The filtration system blocked. You know, and it's not even summertime yet. When summertime comes around, you're gonna have all these bugs. Let me put the mic a little bit up here. You're gonna have all these bugs and garbage. All of it trying to get inside the container. You know, right now it's just leaves. We have like so many spiders in this area. And they're all gone. They're all hibernating or whatever they're doing. They're all gone right now. But you do have a lot of spiders. Pretty big ones too. So it's a great place for bugs to concentrate because there's a lot of flies, there's a lot of gnats, there's a lot of mosquitoes and things like that that are sitting on that filter system. They get stuck to the filter, you know, from the suction. And it's a very, the filter is made out of polyester. That's very, it's not sticky, but they get tangled in it, right? The bugs get tangled in it. And after they get tangled in it, it's hard for them to get out. So they get stuck there. So then the spider can come around and have some lunch. Make sure I'm still streaming with you guys. Now I'm walking around these containers. These containers are, they are metal, you know, and it's gonna block the Wi-Fi signal from my phone, which is then sending the signal from the camera. So I gotta periodically check on the connection, make sure I'm still live with you guys here. How's the video quality, by the way? You guys wanna leave a message, let me know. And how's the stream working out? Because again, I'm walking around these containers, and the containers are metal. Video is good. Okay. When I was walking around the container, around the tarp on the left-hand side, and then on the right-hand side, was the video quality good? Were you guys losing signal? Let me know. And I was walking behind where the exhaust was for the containers. Was the video quality good there as well? Now let me show you guys inside this one here. So this container, oh look, we got a leaf. Sometimes these get through. Even though we have our filtration system, somehow it still gets sucked under. Once a year, one of those leaves get through. So here is how we use all of our power. We ran out of space, but we have more power. We ended up loading a lot of miners just up like this, all the way up there. You can see all of those on the sides. Same thing over here, all the way up and over here. And when we did that, with all these miners on the side and all these miners on these 4 or 5 rows, that's 1 megawatt. These are all S19 Pro and all S19J Pro. You can see 60. That's how many miners we have on the side. 60 miners on the side. And then we got 5 rows at 52. Here on the left, all these rows here. These are all basically the same. By the way, all these miners on these rows are S19 Pro, non-J series. And all of these miners on the side are J. We only have 1 J on the row section here. That's going to be this guy. The rest are S19 regular non-J versions. Oh, here's that fan I was talking about. So this is called a Martech. So this is the fan that comes with the S19J. This fan right here. This is a very good quality fan. Very good quality. They last forever. They don't break. Great fans. When you buy fans on Bitmain's website, when you buy spare fans, these are the ones they send. We bought some about a month ago, and they sent us those Martech fans. Really good. Oh, actually, while we're talking about fans, let me show you that fan that comes with the regular S19 Pro series. I'll show you that fan because we just replaced one today. I can show you that one, and you guys will know which fans are the bad ones, which ones are the garbage ones. So these ones right here. So these are the cooling fans. You see how it just says cooling? You can look up the model number right there. These ones come with the S19 regular Pro non-J series. They're okay fans. They're not bad fans. It's not like you get a brand new miner and these fans go bad. But after a year, after 2 years, they go bad. And you got to replace them. And we did have some of them even go bad when they were brand new. So they're okay. They're not bad. They're just okay. But the Martech fans, those fans are really nice. Okay, video still looks good. That's great. Now I'm gonna put down the camera because I'm gonna go over to my laptop and see if we got any messages on Rumble and Odyssey, since I can't see that on Restream. So let me put this down over here. And then I'm gonna go take a look. All right, Rumble. If you guys have any questions, throw them in there. Rumble looks good. Twitter's video is just still not working. Have to get some kind of gotta sign up or something to get Twitter to work. The showing the video is live, but you can't play it. Won't play. And then let's take a look at Facebook here. All right, guys, hold on. Almost done here. Make sure everything's working good. There you go. Now the internet's a lot better here. All right, let's get started. We'll get back to it. Leave any questions you guys want me to go over. Otherwise, here we go. All right, now let's talk about the exhaust. This is our exhaust area over here for this container. It's also our, I would say like a garbage area as well. We keep some spare stuff that's not really important to keep away from humidity or heat, you know, like we have some spare conduits, we have garbage, as well as pieces of wood that we might need, pieces of 1/4-inch plywood, stuff like that, little sheets. If we want to block off some airflow, we have that available. Also some, you know, put our dead fans over here, then we throw them away. Again, conduits, gotta throw that away as well. That was for our filtration, for the filter. But anyway, talk about the exhaust. So here's those big, huge fans that blow out all the hot air. We don't turn them on unless the temperature is 70. Right now it is 60 degrees. So they're spinning because of pressure. They're not spinning because they're on. They are not on, they're actually all off. I can show you by having to show you guys the disconnect switch. So here's the disconnect switch. And you can see they're off. They're all off. So I got 4 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, some more spare stuff. Some spare like louvers. We had cut out the container sheet metal, right, for the size of the container. See how they're all just cut out here, laying here. Really nothing, no place to really put them, or I guess you could just throw them away. But we keep them. Who knows? Maybe we'll need them. Then we got some L-bar here. L-bar, again, these are just spare parts we have left over. We also don't really need them, but you know, whatever, just keep them. But you can see the louvers inside of there. Okay, those louvers, this is the first build we did for one of our clients, and the louvers are not needed. Like, we have them in there, but you do not need them. For all future builds, we don't use louvers. Like for this 2.2 megawatt farm we have available for hosting, you do not need louvers at all. So we don't have that. I'll show you guys this container over here. And you'll see how much different it is than that first one. You see how we put rebar instead of having it just a sheet metal from the container. We have rebar to allow more airflow coming out. We still have louvers here, but not for any future builds. We do not use louvers anymore. There is really no point. They're not making a problem, right? They're not producing a problem for us. What are we doing? I can also show you guys our transformers. So here are some transformers, or the 2 transformers I have for this site here. So 1 megawatt transformer and a 750 kVA transformer. You can see the voltages here at the top right corner, 12208. What that means is the transformer has 3 legs with 3 phases, and each phase is 120. So if you combine 2 phases together, it becomes 208. These transformers are a little tweaked. They come stock at 208, but we tweak them to 231. So you can do that for these transformers. You can make them 231. So our voltages coming in for the miners is 231 and not 208. You see these fins here? These fins are to help cool off the oil. And they are warm and they get hot in the summertime. So there's oil inside of this transformer that cools off the transformer because it's converting or transforming high voltage from the power lines down to the 120 slash 208 voltage. So to do that, there's a special mechanism inside that will do that transformation, but it requires cooling. And the way it cools is with oil. And then you have to cool off the oil, so you got a circulation inside, as well as these fins on the sides of the transformer to help cool off the oil. So that's how that works. So the power lines are coming in at 14,000, I think it's 460. I think that's the voltages coming from the power lines. They're all underground, by the way. Running to this transformer, and running to this transformer, 14,000, I think 640 or 460, something like that. And then it transforms it to 208. Well, 120 technically on the phase. Transforms the phases to 120 and then sends them off to the gears over here. So again, everything is underground. You can just imagine underground, you got wires running to this gear. That gear then has the breakers in it. Also that transformer running to that gear. And then those pipes right there, PVC pipes, that's what's actually running to our 600 amp panels So it give you guys an idea of how that whole process works. All right, let me see how the stream is going for you guys. Let me refresh my phone. Okay, looks like all platforms are streaming away. Let me check the chat here. I'll give you guys a couple more minutes. If you guys have any other questions, any other interests want me to talk about, leave them in the comments. Otherwise, I'm going to just go over the 2.2 megawatt farm we have available and then read you guys' comments, answer them, and then the stream's going to end. All right, so you guys have like a couple minutes. Want to throw in some more questions. You know, we could talk about the XPs, we could talk about Watts miner or other crypto miners or GPU mining, whatever you guys want to talk about. Let me know. All right, so showing you guys this farm. We have that 2.2 megawatt farm available for hosting right now. It is basically ready to roll. We are waiting for our client or anyone to jump in on that and send over their miners to that 2.2 megawatt farm and start hosting with us. So we are very flexible on, because we understand that Bitcoin price can go down, and in those situations we give our clients the ability to offset some of the downside by paying us, instead of paying a certain amount in kilowatt hours, a certain cent amount in kilowatt hours, you can actually pay a portion of it in Bitcoin percentage. So instead of paying kilowatt, you can actually pay some of the Bitcoin percentage. So we have that deal where we give you, you know, it's 1.5 cents of the charge can be for the kilowatt, and then the rest can be for Bitcoin. A lot of big farms don't do that for their clients. They just say, hey, this is the rate, you know, this is the rate you get. You don't get anything less than that. And we don't care if Bitcoin price goes down, you're gonna pay their rate. That's what they do. At Crypto LLC, we give you the option to actually pay a portion of it in Bitcoin. So it gives you that ability to kind of, you know, breathe a little easier. And then when Bitcoin price goes back up, then we switch back to the original or default charge that we have, or default fee that we charge. So go to cryptollc.org if you want to set up a farm. We also set up farms all over the world, and especially United States. If you want to set up a farm in Texas, or maybe you want to set up one in Georgia, you want to set one up in Colorado or Wyoming or something like that, or Washington, or even in Canada, or you want to set one up in Russia or China. Well, actually, you can't do it in China. China's banned. But any other country, go to cryptollc.org. We can help you with that. We start from the very beginning. We start from just a piece of land. Do you see this piece of land right here? It was all dirt, and now it has everything on it. And that's what we can do for you. You have just a piece of dirt, some property, nothing there. We can set up everything from the very start to the very end and have these two containers working for you. So go to cryptollc.org. Now, if you don't want to do all of that, you just want to buy some miners and plug them in, we have that at that 2.2 megawatt farm. It's available right now. You can buy miners yourself. You can buy miners from us. You can buy miners from somebody else. You can buy miners directly from Bitmain. Whatever you feel, whatever the best deal you get, you do that. You can send over your miners, your used miners. You can send new miners. We don't care. We'll do whatever works for you. So whatever option works for you. Go to cryptollc.org. All right, so I'm going to put down the camera now. I'm going to read some of you guys' comments, and we'll go over whatever you guys want to talk about, and that's going to be it for this stream. All right, so hold on. We'll put the camera back down. I'll give you guys a better view. I'll put it on this chair. There you go. That looks better. video quality looks really good. Look at the YouTube live, it's nice. All right, it looks like you guys are pretty good. No questions. Probably all more interested in GPU mining. If I get that correct, probably more interested in GPU mining. But that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys like it. Don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, go to cryptollc.org if you want to set up a GPU ASIC mining farm, you want to buy GPUs or buy ASICs. Go to cryptollc.org, and that's going to be it for this one. And until next time, see you guys.